What's going on, guys? T90XVI with the mother of all 1v1s here today. Um, I watched this game, and it is incredible, and I'm really excited for it here. These players are both of the Wolfpack clan, and if you're not familiar with the Wolfpack clan, Wolfpack clan consists of FeAge and some other great players. And FeAge recently, if you don't watch a lot of Age of Empires on YouTube, he recently beat the Viper in the Polaris Best of 9 series. So FeAge knows what he's doing, and he has for some time. These players, Hera is actually above FeAge in Voobly rankings. They're both 2100 plus on Voobly, so incredible rankings. And it just happens that these players were matched up against each other because that it's not normally how that happens. It's not normally the case that two clan members that happen to be both very good get matched up against each other so early on. So, unfortunately, one of these guys is going to be knocked out, but it's going to be a heck of a game. So, this game is incredibly long, so you better prepare yourself for it. If this game was a physical activity, it would be a marathon because it like never ends. And if it was an actor, it would be Morgan Freeman because it never dies. Like, seriously, it is going to be an incredible game. I hope you're excited for it. So let's introduce the players shortly. We have Hera here, and he is playing in the green as the Huns. Over here in the red, we have FeAge playing in the red as the Huns. And I believe down here I said red as well. We're green as the Huns. Anyway, so it's a mirrored Huns matchup. The match is on Arabia, which is interesting. It's not dry Arabia, so you'll see these little oases. That's not normal. Normally, those oases are not there, and it's normally played on dry Arabia. But I can only guess that these guys know each other, and they're just like, hey, we're going to play regular Arabia. Or they just did it by mistake. I'm not really sure. So, anyway, something to touch on real quick. I did get contacted by WSVG, and if I didn't note it already, this is a game from the WSVG Championships, World Series Video Gaming. And I did get contacted by WSVG, and they did give me some images and things, but obviously it's a little bit of free advertising for them on my channel, but I'm beyond excited that I was contacted and they at least noticed me and noticed that I'm covering the series. So thank you guys for subscribing and doing what you do and supporting me. That was beyond exciting for me to get that contact from them. Also, any submissions that you guys send in, I am putting in a folder so I can use them later on after this tournament is over or when I have the time to put them up. The games are simply going to be so good from this tournament that I probably won't put so many submissions up from Steam, and we'll see how it goes. So anyway, over here you'll see that Hera found the sheep of FeAge, and he's not stealing it. He's actually signaled the sheep, and now FeAge is going to go look for them, and that's fair play for Hera. These guys are obviously, they care more about winning the game in a respectful manner than they do winning the game. Just interesting. I'm more of a cutthroat player, but I guess this is early on in the tournament. Probably not going to see many boar steals or, sheep steals thus far. And these guys know each other well, so probably don't want to damage any relationships they have in the clan either. So anyway, this is Huns War. So we're probably going to see a lot of feudal aggression. And so I am going to keep things sped up a tiny bit here. The first time I went to record this game, it was so lengthy that I actually ran out of hard drive space. So I cleared everything out that I had, and we'll see how it goes. Now, something I want to touch on here is that the wood line here is very poor. It will eventually be very hard to wall off in the late game for Hera. Over here, though, this wood line is much better for FeAge. In fact, he's walling it off now, and he may wall across here. I assume so. If he's walling here, he's probably going to wall across here, and that's an easy wall for him. Then he can just wall here into his TC. So, just something to point out there. Also, the golds are on the front for both of them. So, where's FeAge's gold? There we go. That's not really a good gold position for him. And So that gold sucks because it's at the bottom of a hill, so any archers or scouts that were to come in, they would be able to attack downhill. And so that's not really the best. But anyway, they're up to the feudal age now, and probably going to be going scouts into archers, so that gold will need to be used at some point. Um, just to note, I did change the sensitivity on my mouse, and the reason I did that was because I want to become a quicker player. But the thing is you see how slowly my screen moves around on Voobly. It's so annoying, and I can't fix that. I don't know how to fix that. So if anyone plays on Voobly and knows why that happens, on Steam it's so much more fluid for me, and I'm not going to be able to play high level games on Voobly if I can't fix this. So bear with me as I try and figure that out. But anyway, so here we have the scouts coming across from FeAge, and he's going to try and do some damage. Like I said, on the other side for FeAge, Hera has front gold as well here. It's going to be very hard for him to do anything on the gold unless he's getting the ground control. And ground control is important. They're both going to want to be able to get the ground control so they can get access to their gold. Now, here we have FeAge wedging himself in here, wedging a villager in. He is going to lose his initial scout, which was already low on HP, but that villager goes down, and he's probably going to bounce right back out of there. Meanwhile, on the other side, we have a scout being engaged by the 4 scouts of Hera. Scout goes down, and these villagers, well, they're going to be idled at the very least, because FeAge was ready for it. So at this point, FeAge only has 2 scouts on this side, and he's not going to be able to really do much damage with that. He's probably waiting for another scout to join the fight. And over here, we have another spear coming out from FeAge, so he can defend. And FeAge is walling off as well. Like I said, he has a really nice wall, so I'm not surprised. If you can wall, do it. I mean, seriously. Gold coming out early for Hera. I will say this hill is going to be not really the best for him. It's not the best location because it can be firing down. Any archers that come in from FeAge is going to be firing downhill, and that hill's kind of right above his gold as well. But lots of scouts coming out from FeAge, which leads me to believe he's really going to be committing to the feudal age at this point. He even has an outpost there, and let's see what FeAge is doing right now. He's at 40 population, and he's actually researching Town Watch. So just to show you what Town Watch can do, guys, just looking at what he can see right now, watch when Town Watch comes in. He can see so much more now than he could before. So Town Watch is incredibly important, and these guys have so many scouts out right now. It's actually pretty nuts that they are going so far into the feudal age here. You would think one of these guys would want to get into the castle age, but if one were to do that, the other one would put feudal pressure on, so they're not able to really make that choice. So they all have to go feudal, and in doing so, they're forcing each other to continue to produce feudal units. Lots of scouts out from Hera now. Hera has just about as many as FeAge, I believe, because FeAge has some at home. FeAge possibly going to be getting bloodlines shortly. I would not be surprised if these guys be going for bloodlines to get that extra 20 HP, and going for possibly the defense upgrade so they can run underneath the TC, get back into this wood line, and take arrow fire from this tower and the TC. Once you get enough scouts, you're going to be able to take spears on. Right now, at 8, with other scouts in the mix, you're not going to want to really engage any spears. So, you know, you're going to want to get out of there if you're Hera. Hera, I mean, he's lost 2 scouts there without doing any damage to FeAge. It really wasn't the best engagement for him there. And he said, oh boy, that lag. Oh boy, that lag. And isn't that always the excuse? And Hera, dude, don't hate me, man. You're better than me. I wasn't making fun of you. And so anyway, FeAge is saying, hey dude, everything's all closed, so shouldn't be much lag. And here we have FeAge coming across with his scouts and getting bloodlines upgrade in, and he has no blacksmith yet, so he's not going to be doing anything in descent in well, he's not going to be doing anything with any upgrades. So he's coming across with his scouts. The only thing he's really going to have access to, there's a lot of spears patrolling over here on the wood line. Only thing he's going to have access to is hitting this wood line. This amount of scouts with bloodlines is going to be able to take out those archers, but Hera has his scouts in defense, so he should be okay. So at this point, it's kind of stalematy. We are nearing 20-minute mark of the game, and they are all in Feudal still, not even close to hitting the Castle Age. So like I said, this is going to be a long game, but how many 2100 plus games do we see guys commit to the Feudal Age? And it's rather interesting that they're doing this, and this is how Huns are usually played, I'm sure, with pro games, but we just don't see it often. These guys obviously play together, and they obviously play similarly. I can't say that word. Say it 3 times fast. But anyway, scouts with bloodlines from Hera chasing these scouts from FeAge now, and bringing archers in, which are certainly going to help this fight. Now, FeAge has archers himself with some skirmishers. So what at this point is going to have to happen is that these scouts are really going to decide the battle. The scouts are going to be able to kill any archers because there's so many of them, but if any spears come in and kill off the scouts, if the scouts die, scout v scout, you know, it's going to be a huge loss. So FeAge right now has a ton of scouts. Let's count. We have 4, 8 to at least over 15, and they have +1 attack and bloodlines. So Hera, thinking he had the advantage in pushing across, does not have the advantage, and he's running on back. He does, though, have a couple ranges around here and a tower, so he should be safe. And he could even send a couple spears over here to help out with these scouts. However, the hill advantage is going to be good for these archers and skirms. They can just sit on this hill and pick off these archers. So we'll see if FeAge wants to engage here. These archers are going to be able to just sit in this little choke point here and pick off scouts one by one. If anything, FeAge right now seems to be wanting to push Hera off gold, and that's exactly what he's doing. He doesn't want to lose his scouts, though. Remember, these scouts are so expensive and they're so important. So we'll see what happens. But Hera is completely pushed off of gold at this point in time. He did do a great job, though, of getting right back onto gold. That was really important that he did that. So we're going to speed things up a little bit here. Like I said, even though FeAge is over here, it is so stalematy right now. Their micro is so good, and they're just not losing any units. You don't see many units lost. Now, FeAge, he doesn't have many archers here, and he's engaging, but he didn't do much damage compared to what he lost. He probably lost about 5 or 6 archers and skirms. And in the meantime, he's creating more and more scouts. And I'm not seeing any scouts coming out from Hera. So Hera, what does he have here? He's almost at the Castle Age. The reason FeAge isn't at the Castle Age, well, is because he's making scouts, which are 80 food a pop. And that's not good at all for him right now, because if these archers get up to crossbowmen from Hera, these scouts are almost going to be useless. So he's engaging below the TC here, trying to take them out, because he knows if he loses them, that will not be good. Taking out as many villagers as he can at the base of this gold. Lots of skirmishers in there, but FeAge is going to be on the back foot here now. Obviously, he is not in the Castle Age. He does have a lot of scouts here, but Hera has just as many. Hera has crossbowmen with +2 and is going to be able to push out across the map now. So what is FeAge doing? He's just clicked up to the Feudal Age, or Castle Age, excuse me, and he's creating archers, which he will eventually get up to crossbowmen. But all he has is these scouts right now, and a couple archers, which are going to be chased down. So he really just needs to survive right now. He really needs to survive. And at this point, guys, 27 minutes into the game minutes, of course, AoE minutes, and FeAge is behind. He has not yet hit. And these archers, these crossbowmen, are going to come in and get a couple villager picks. And these scouts are going to come in as well. And it's not looking good right now, but those scouts, I didn't even notice, but they have +1 defense as well. And FeAge is making more of them right now. He's making more scouts, and the scouts are killing the crossbowmen? Oh my gosh, are you kidding me? These scouts are doing a great job. And meanwhile, FeAge is taking this right now on the front. And I'm very surprised. And you know what? With this many scouts, you're probably going to see a light cav coming out right away. And he is. And are we going to see a defense upgrade come in as well for these units? Because he's committed to scouts so hard here. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a defense upgrade come in for these soon-to-be light cav. But and there it is. So FeAge, he seems to have committed to the cavalry line. And interesting part about that is that Huns, well, they do have fast stables, but they don't have, it's not cost effective. And 2 population difference right now, FeAge has the score lead after that engagement, but I would certainly say that going the Cav Archer route is going to be the best route to go, because it's so cheap. However, if FeAge can just raid, he might do a good job here. He has the defense upgrades and everything he needs. And it looks like at this point, no one's getting up a second TC. FeAge possibly closer right now, because Hera has to spend all his wood and his gold on these Cav Archers. This hole, I don't know if there's a hole here, but there might be a hole sooner or later, because that palm forest tree has 19 wood. And, well, FeAge is going to have to get on out of there, because he's going to run into some Cav Archers. Cav Archers will make short work of these light Cavs, so I'm not sure how I feel about more light Cav coming out here. But there are skirms and archers behind, kind of acting as meat shields, these light Cav here. And as long as FeAge does some raiding, I feel like these light Cav will be okay. He's getting a villager pick or 2. Only 5 villagers can be in this tower at a time. So with the defense upgrades, he might be okay getting a villager pick or 2. But again, going knights right now, not going the Cav Archers. And that's certainly going to be a different strategy than what Hera is going for. Hera is going strictly Cav Archers right now. And sooner or later, he's going to be able to one-shot these knights. He's already going to be able to one-shot these light Cav. So we'll see what happens. And there's the second TC from Hera right now. But problem is, Hera has to come over here to address his TC going up. And meanwhile, getting gutted over here by these light Cav and these knights, which have the defense upgrades, which have the +1, and villagers are going down everywhere. Meanwhile, the light Cav over here, that palm tree, forest tree, whatever you want to call it, has been cut, and his wall is gone. So these, unfortunately, these Cav Archers can't be everywhere at once, and they haven't been split up. And villagers are just going down everywhere right now for Hera. And as much as the unit choice is not really the best for FeAge, he is making it work, is he not? I mean, he only has 2 Cav Archers out in the map, but he is just raiding like a madman. And raiding like a madman is working right now. So, man, very surprised right now. And Hera has so many units, he hasn't even touched this side of the map. And I've spoken about map control in the first game with Viper. Viper was able to maintain the map control and have a good economy. And on this other side, it's just going to be what FeAge can do with his economy in the meantime while he raids, it looks like. But Hera, he can't deal with these raids right now. We have knights on the stone as well. 1, 2 villagers down there as well. And Hera needs to clean this up. He needs to get it extra TCs up if need be, whatever he can do. But he needs to get on the other side of the map here and start doing some raiding, because if he doesn't do that, all these dead villagers are really going to catch up to him. The military count right now is well in his favor. He has almost 10 more military, does Hera. And he's fighting uphill. He should still be able to take that. But very surprising at this point that Hera hasn't been able to get to the other side of the map with all these units. We're seeing Elite Skirm out from FeAge, and FeAge, well, that's a good choice, especially having them up on this hill. These knights are almost fully upgraded at this point, and those knights are going to be excellent meat shields, while these skirms just rain down spears. I guess skirmishers they don't throw skirms, they throw spears. They throw spears, so that's, I won't say that though. These skirmishers just rain down arrows. And in we come with more rating on this gold now. And Hera still not making the most of these cav archers. He has a critical mass. He does not seem to be doing anything. He hasn't split up and done any raiding at all. He could get a mass of them up in here and just plant them on stand ground and deny this wood. He hasn't done that yet. And a couple knights would clean up this as well. He's going all cav archers, and it's not working out for him right now. This gold, look at the villagers on this gold. They're sorely hurt, and it's really not the best right now, and they're constantly having to get into this tower. And while the tower is doing a good job at least keeping them away from the gold, it's not really doing much. Skirms, they deal with arrow fire well, so they can kind of go in there and keep him off of gold as often as he wants. And at this point, FeAge, he is caught up in the military count. FeAge is actually ahead at this point by 7, and the score lead shows that FeAge is now on top of the score lead. And a couple knights going to come in here, and now everything is split up again. We have all these cav archers split up, and more raiding is going to be ensue. FeAge, you know what he's doing right here? He is pushing his aggression. That is what he's doing right. Hera, well, he's still creating cav archers. We haven't seen one Mangonel, and there's 2 of them queued up. But Hera is having a tough time dealing with this pressure right now. He's losing these expensive units, and it's not really the best. Now, the only thing I will say right now, is that if this goes late game, there's going to be a lot of gold wasted by Hera, because he's throwing it all away to skirms. And that's something to keep in mind. If he doesn't make these count right now, he's going to be in trouble. I mean, this gold pile is halfway gone. This one is going to be gone within, 20-minute game time, probably. And, if it goes late game, it could be bad. And now, FeAge is starting to make his own cav archers as well. Cav archers, of course, the reason FeAge isn't going just skirms is because cav archers can take a lot more hits from Mangonels. Cav archers can kill villagers a lot quicker. And FeAge's going to make a tower on that hill, which I think is a good decision. It might be able to reach that gold. And Mangonel's going to go down to these light cav possibly, but great eye by Hera, able to repair them and actually going to bait in the light cav and the knights to their deaths. So well done there. Well done. Cav archers is also going to be able to snipe off villagers as opposed to skirms. They don't do a great job versus villagers. They are only a counter unit to any archers. So, skirms coming in. Again, look how many units we have on the map right now from Hera. And Hera, I would love to see him get more farms out in this map, because then he could actually create some hussars. I mean, not some hussars, some light cav with his own. But this could be a great engagement for him. He has more siege out on the map than FeAge does. And FeAge getting a good shot there from his first Mangonel. And 1-for-1 is what he needed there because he was outmatched. And trying to get another tower up there is FeAge. But FeAge is as happy as I have been with everything he's been doing right now. He's completely outmassed, and Hera needs to take his advantage here. Hera really needs to take his advantage here. Maybe just defend with a couple Mangonels and Knights and push out with these Cav Archers. I'm still a bit disappointed that he hasn't been able to do any damage with these units, and I'm sure he is disappointed as well he hasn't been able to do any raiding. I'm still seeing all of the relics out in the map, so none of these guys have picked up any relics. Relics would be important in late game, but it is important they have all their resources at this point in time. This Mangonel, that's getting shot by that tower, and I think doing the math on how many hits it's taking about 4 HP each time, and that's going to go down. That is definitely going to go down, and, you know, that's about 12 hits from the tower, which doesn't take that long. And the Mangonels are so important right now, and FeAge is throwing them away to that tower, and that tower is just, like, so huge, it seems, right now. And there we go. It's just going to stay up. Just going to stay up. And it's going to take that out while taking 1 HP a hit off of Mangonel. And look at all these cav archers we have. Look at all these cav archers we have from Hera. The score lead, guys. The score lead is 8k to 6,700 from FeAge. FeAge is having a tough time right now. A real tough time. But the only thing that is keeping him alive is the fact that he has all these counters to the cav archers and this hill. And Hera has got to be so pissed right now that there's this hill here. I mean, all he sees is this massive hill. And if he pushes up there, he's going to be at a severe disadvantage. So that kind of stinks for him. I feel like he is definitely holding up for the Imperial Age, though, and that's why he doesn't want to create knights, which would cost the food and the gold he needs. He's at 500 resources of gold and food, so he's getting to where he needs to be for the Imperial Age. He has a siege workshop, he has a university, so he's getting close to when he can click up and start making the units he needs to push this back. And FeAge, on the other hand, is not close. He's at 165 population while Hera is at 163. So while the score lead is favoring Hera, I feel like that is because Hera has the unit advantage. FeAge is still in this. He just hasn't produced any gold units at this point in the game. So we'll see what happens. There has been a lot of mini raiding going on with some knights. Up here you'll see a villager kill or two from some knights. And this tower, those villagers in those towers are the real MVP. I mean, they are sending out some crucial arrows to these Mangonels and doing a great job. How many units right now do these guys have? Well, militaries 56 to 51 in favor of Hera at this point. And that Mangonel is still being targeted right now. Hera is not messing around with that tower. And another, that's 3, soon to be 3 Mangonels that are going to go down to this tower now. And we're going to just count that. I mean, seriously. He's just going to keep repairing it and jumping into the tower. And what are you doing, FeAge, with this tower, man? Just stop engaging the tower. All he has to do is repair it, defend it with his units, and click up to the Imperial Age, which he's about to do at this very moment. And FeAge, on the other hand, is quite a ways away. I mean, he's at 180 population, but he's quite a ways away from clicking up. His villager count, though, is quite high. He has 130 villagers, while Hera only has 111 villagers. So you have to keep in mind there is a difference there. And another Mangonel, we're going to give that one to the tower as well, just because most of the damage went off from the tower. So 4 down from that tower. And tower, you're the real MVP. Over here, though, Hera, he's already on his way up. And if Hera goes Cavalier, he's going to be able to absolutely cream this Skirm army. Obviously, Cavalier Knights do a great job against Skirms. Two-handed swordsmen would do a good job too, but two-handed swordsmen, they get shredded by any archers. So you never see two-handed swordsmen in a Hun war, rarely anyway. So we'll see what happens. Speed things up a little bit. At this point, look at the scores, and you can probably guess that FeAge is aware that the click has happened from Hera. You can probably guess because he's not engaging. He can assume that they both clicked up. So they're both kind of waiting. At this point, what is FeAge doing? Well, we're looking, he's getting husbandry. He's producing a couple cav archers. Meanwhile, it's pretty obvious what's going on over here on this side. We have a couple stables coming out, possibly to get the Hussar upgrade in, but we have cav archers, mainly cav archers from Hera. But it's a 2k score difference at this point. Like, that's a huge score difference, and Hera's really in a good spot. So Hera, though, we are going to pay attention to him because he's going to hit Imperial first, and I want to know what Hera is doing. If Hera is going to hit first, what research is he going to complete? So we have the white cav coming out. That he's going to be quite a ways away from getting the upgrade for Hussar. He is going to want that in the near future, of course. He is going to wall off as well on his flank. Good decision, because we do not want any raiding coming in from any enemy Hussars later in the game. So, he has the +1. He has Parthenian tactics coming in, and when I say +1, I meant to say +2. But we have some Mangonels waiting, just waiting from FeAge, and more than half the army has gone down. And more than half the score lead has left as well. I have to say there was about 50 there at one point. Now there's about 20 cav archers. And what a huge, huge play from FeAge. FeAge is now Imperial, and he might be able to hold in here. FeAge, he's going like cav and heavy cav archer. So at this point, looking at FeAge, he didn't actually go +3. He went for heavy cav archer. Meanwhile, we have +4 in and Parthenian tactics for Hera, but no heavy cav archer. So interesting difference in upgrades there. I know that FeAge is probably going to want the Hussar. I know that Hera is going to want the Hussar to counter any skirms. Right now they don't have it, and lots of skirms in here from FeAge, but he's now fighting uphill. This hill is really important, and we'll see who gets Hussar first. Who's gonna go for the Hussar one first? And FeAge already has it, so this Hussar is gonna be huge, especially even if Hera doesn't get the the heavy cav archer upgrade. These Hussars will actually do a decent job against these regular cav archers, even though they're fully upgraded. Hussars are so tanky, and if they have if they're fully upgraded, they'll do a good job, especially if skirms are behind them. So we'll see what happens. We still have only +3 on these heavy cav archers over here for FeAge. He doesn't have Parthenian tactics yet either, but Siege Ram is in, and the forward base from FeAge is going to be pushed back. Raiding's going to start coming in from all over the place with these Hussars out in the map, and I assume that is going to make my job a little bit harder, because with the raiding comes a lot of movement all over the map, and raiding is important, so we will see what happens. Forward castle coming out from Hera, and Hera, he has the hill. He wanted the hill, and he's got it, and it took him some time, but he finally was able to push back, and well done for that. FeAge, any upgrades coming in? He has Blast Furnace coming in. He has 2 blacksmiths up. But fortunately for him, he's going to be running uphill and into a castle here. And that castle fire will do a good job against all the units he's throwing out. And he doesn't seem to have a castle of his own yet that's making any trebuchets. So he does have his own castle, no trebuchets. He's going to try and go ram. Rams, well, the reason Rams are being chosen over the trebuchets is because they're cheaper and they can be sniped. Trebuchets can be sniped by these cav archers and especially the Hussars. So trebuchets really aren't the best. They're not as mobile. And once you mass a bunch of siege rams, they're actually pretty good. Siege rams are also good at soaking up arrow fire with those skirms and cav archers out in the mix. So at this point, still about a 2k score difference with Hera in front. But Hera, what is he up to right now? He is making some hussars. You notice how they're producing out of every stable one at a time? That is the most efficient way to do it. These guys know how to play the game. But the biggest thing right now is Hera cannot afford the heavy cav archer. Meanwhile, on this side of the map, we have heavy cav archer from FeAge. That might add up later in the game. I could be wrong on that, but that could definitely add up later in the game. And Hera, he needs to push with Siege now. He needs to make his advantage count now. But he only has one ram, and it only has 25 HP. So what is FeAge doing? These guys are kind of stuck right now. I think it's at this point we start looking at how much gold is on the map, because we need to see what's happening. So right now we have 2 rams in here from FeAge. They're not siege ram though, and it doesn't look like he's going to have the food to afford siege rams, because if he goes for siege ram and uses 1k food to get it, he's going to have to stop hussar production, which he can't do. And hussar's coming out, but he's not going to be able to stop production at this current time. Right now, we have an engagement with the cav archers out in the front, and we just have half rams coming out right now from FeAge. Now, gold, let's see what's on the map right now. Have castles covering the flank, but only gold here with 305 left, and gold here for FeAge with that's full, and he doesn't know what's there. He doesn't know what's there. Well, that's a real shame. We'll see. We'll keep an eye on that. This is his only gold left right now from FeAge. He's going to have to go full trash soon. Meanwhile, gold over here. This gold, we have about 800 gold left there. And gold here, which has been spotted by FeAge, and FeAge is raiding it. So, it would be interesting if FeAge pops out a Treb and takes out this castle and tries to steal this gold, because FeAge is getting pushed back here. And like I said, this is not looking good for FeAge with no gold. He's still, at this point, we're going to keep his Fog of War on. He still does not know that gold is there, and his only gold production right now is coming from 2 relics, which he did pick up. If you look at his gold, at the top left of the screen, it's going up 2 at a time, and that is from the relics. But his skirms, well, they're fully upgraded. His hussars, they're fully upgraded. And he can spam the trash if he has the food, if he has the wood. So he's able to defend for now. And that's pretty much all he's able to do, is just push this one back. And this might be GG for FeAge if FeAge is unable to get any siege out, which he needs a lot of gold to do. And he's getting scale mail armor. And that's really interesting. He's getting scale mail armor, which leads me to believe he's going to need to get some spears out soon. Because getting scale mail armor, that armor is for infantry units. He may be having to switch into spears, which is not good at all. And spears he is going. There are the pikes now. And still unaware that gold is there. Is not good for him. But meanwhile, he is doing a lot of raiding, and the kill to death ratio at this point is, let's see here. Well, we'll worry about that at the end. Oh, there we go. Hera has 470 kills and 400 deaths. So, obviously FeAge is behind in that as well. FeAge can't defend forever. These cav archers, I'm sure there'll be heavy cav archers soon, and Hera has the food for the heavy cav archer upgrade, but he doesn't have the gold just yet, and he's spending it. He does have a market. He could sell a little bit. Looks like he just did that. Still not getting the upgrade. And the thing is, right now, if you're selling resources, it's really, this late in the game, like, it's really bad to lose that resource, because the market rates aren't the best. So, you know, you don't necessarily want to do that. And right now, Hera has a huge advantage with what resources he has. He's able to get that research in. He just did. But just taking a look here, the rating's still coming in from FeAge, and FeAge is just hanging in. He is just hanging in. And you know what? I'm very surprised. He has so many skirms here, and there is a little bit of a hill he's able to stick to. We have the spears coming in. FeAge. Let's saving up some gold. It looks like he's not spending any on any gold units at this current time. And he's sending out rams as well. Though saying that, we have a lot of siege rams here from Hera. And these rams, sending them at skirms is going to be huge. Just absolutely huge. So that's not going to be good at all. Meanwhile, we do have 3 relics though from FeAge. And this is the move he needed. This is the move he needed. We have 1,500 gold here. FeAge can take that gold. He's 2k behind. He needs that gold. Over here, he could be losing the game though. These skirms are gonna attack these rams, and soon you will see what happens when these rams come in. TC is gonna go down, and not a good result there. Hussars are gonna have to come in. These pikemen are going to have to come in and take out the ram. Meanwhile, behind, we have these cav archers, which are fully upgraded at this point. But there we go. Villagers coming across to get the gold. And back here, how close is it for him to... Like, can that be any closer? Just take a look at that. He can't... Like, if FeAge just runs a villager over there, he could see it. That's so poor. That's going so bad. But Ram's still going to work over here, of course. I think at this point, FeAge, he's in a bit of trouble if a couple trebuchets come out as well. But Hera's gold situation, he has 2 relics. And he might be low on gold as well. And the gold he's actually been pushed off of is right over here, and he doesn't seem to be prioritizing that. Hera can see it. He can see that he's on his gold because he has the town watch, but he's not doing anything about it. And the halberdier comes in from FeAge. FeAge upgrades the halberdier, and well, that was a great upgrade to use because at this point everyone's running out of gold. And you're running out of gold. What do you do? Well, you need to use trash. And so now the trash is fully upgraded for FeAge. Meanwhile, we only have 1 barracks over here for Hera. And Hera just seems to be running right past this. He doesn't seem to be aware that FeAge is mining this gold. And if he is aware, he's just ignoring it. He's also, I mean, he's creating skirms, not too many. He's creating a lot more hussars. So it's a real shame right now. And FeAge is just grabbing up all the resources he can. He's still unaware of that gold. He's got to be close to it now. He's got to be close to spotting it. But no. And FeAge, look at his fog of war. He has the entire map scouted, except like on his side, he has every little bit scouted. He put up outposts everywhere so he can see if there's gold. But he just can't see it right now. Like, he probably can't even imagine that there's gold in that little corner. But there is. And he is just holding over here. These skirms and these halberdier are doing a great job, and the halberdier are upgraded too. And FeAge, 3k behind, but he's holding on, and he has the gold. He has the gold. And Hera, now he realizes. Now Hera realizes that there are units over here mining gold. And well, that's important. That's important that this gold is not only being saved so he can mine it, but he now realizes that FeAge is on it, so he doesn't want FeAge to get it. So that's good. And also worth noting over here that this stone can be sold by FeAge, and it's not being collected by Hera as well. So we are a minute 10 into the game right now. FeAge still hasn't seen that gold, keeping an eye on that. But these guys are all running low on resources. And FeAge, he's just holding on. He's really just holding on over here. Hera is creating more and more rams to try and push in, but he hasn't pushed past this TC over here. He really hasn't. And I'm wondering, we have the raiding coming in from Hera right now. I'm wondering if perhaps the raiding from Hera will lead one of FeAge's villagers onto the gold. In fact, there we go. The villager ran around to get one of his backwood pieces, and he spotted it. So that can change the game entirely, guys. That is 2,400 gold. Not to mention this gold over here. FeAge has 500 gold right now. That's so huge. Meanwhile, 79 for Hera. And raiding coming in. These rams, unfortunately, are going to be thrown to waste, but all that FeAge wanted to do was be able to get in here and do some raiding. Since they're all making trash, they need the farms and they need the food and wood income right now. Wood, well, where is the wood? There is barely any wood left on this map that is not being raided. And so that's what the main goal is right now from these guys. But gold, once the gold comes out, the cav archers and the rams can come out. And that's going to be huge. In fact, looking at FeAge, who has the gold, what is his choice? He may be going rams. We will see here. He's saving up, it looks like, at this point. But the gold is going to be huge. At this point, is the Hera aware of what's going on back there? Is he aware there's gold? No, he's not. It's like no one can figure that out. So, I mean, just look at the hussars right now. Lots of hussars from FeAge. In fact, that's a critical amount of hussars and trash. We'll see what happens. Both these guys clinging to this hill, which has thousands of bodies at this point have died out on this hill, I'm sure of it. Hera, low on gold. Like I said, he only has the relics gold. Over here, still being collected, is this gold by FeAge. FeAge has over 1,000 gold right now. He's creating hussars. He's not creating any cav archers. He's not creating any rams. He's creating some Tarkans. I'm interested to see how he's going to use the gold. But the hold on the hill is all that is really happening right now. And Hera, he could push this if he just saves up for trebuchets. But it's not happening. The rating just keeps coming in from FeAge right now. And I'm interested to see if this gold is actually going to change things. Hera needs to push in. I feel like he needs to push in. I've said it before. Not pushing in right now, and FeAge is just saving up what he needs. And there come the heavy cav archers. If these cav archers get massed, if they get massed enough, it could be a real problem for Hera. Hera, well, like I said, he's probably spending his gold on rams. He's probably spending his gold on units that are not going to be able to handle cav archers. At least massed cav archers. This gold is possibly the deciding factor back here. Hera spent so much gold in the beginning of this game, it could really come back to bite him. In fact, Hera is not engaging that. It's just beyond me why he's not engaging those units. He's about to engage them there. Over here, though, is where all the action is. FeAge really needs to keep this castle up. That way he can hold to it, possibly even take out this monastery and grab those relics. Over here, well, this is a great place to get some wood. It's a nice thick wood line, but gonna be raided right now by Hera, which is a good move for him. And he's also gonna push in, but there are lots of halberdier in there. So where are these cav archers from FeAge right now? I'm not seeing them, and I'm a bit worried right now that FeAge is not going to have the amount of cav archers he needs to do any damage. He's not doing anything. He's 4K behind in the score, and he's getting raided like crazy. He's getting raided like crazy. He's at 160 population, while meanwhile Hera is at 160 population. He's about to lose this castle. Hera seems to be creating a lot more units. So Hera's doing a better job. However, the cav archers are coming out, and they are being massed. And if he can mass them, he might be able to do a good job here. The gold on the back, though, Hera is still not aware. And there he found it. So that gold was, like I said, very important. Those villagers are going to go down. And Hera is pushing this one back. Hera said, no more, my friend, no more. He has enough skirms here that he could probably deal with any cav archers from FeAge. And the gold's pretty much been denied again. FeAge does not have access to gold. Though saying that, he brings cav archers over to defend it. Such a hectic game, guys. Like, I have no clue what's going to happen at this point because FeAge has the gold, and we have no gold from Hera. I mean, once this gold is gone, it's gone. We have a little bit of gold here, 450 gold. So these guys are, he's like, I don't even care, my mining camp's like almost dead. We need to get that gold in. This is very interesting stuff here, and at this point, FeAge still making skirms and cav archers, but that is a lot of cav archers. If these skirms can be taken out by some hussars, he might be able to do some damage. We'll see. Cav archers are tanky. They can take out these hussars here. These hussars keep engaging, and they do. And this is where I start to fear for Hera. He doesn't have any gold units out on the map. And over on this side, there's a trebuchet, and hussar is going to come in. And these skirms are all that's really protecting Hera right now on this side. And there is some halberdier and some hussar in here as a meat shield. And the gold units still coming out from FeAge. FeAge changing this game so much with the gold, getting a siege workshop up. And what else do we have from him? In fact, he doesn't even have a siege workshop out on the map right now. He needs another one. But this is where he can start picking off villagers like no one else with these units. And cling to the top of the hill, and we'll see what happens here. Meanwhile, on the other side, he's defending quite easily with these halberdier, which he's still creating. But is Hera going to be able to deal with these cav archers? Hera has some gold. He's getting it from over here, obviously, but these villagers are being picked off. I don't know if he's going to be able to deal with the cav archers. We'll see what happens. That was horrible pathing from FeAge, and FeAge's units are going to get picked off one by one. And that was a bad engagement there from FeAge. I mean, obviously that was the game's pathing, but it was not good. And I'm interested to see if Siege Ram is ever going to come in for FeAge here. Probably not, but man, this game will not end. And we have pop cap for FeAge right now. Hera is at 160. So I think the score is honestly down to units lost. We have 1,000 kills right now for Hera and 800 for FeAge. But these cav archers do have a huge advantage here. These halbs are going to come in as meat shields. We have rams coming in as well as a good meat shield. And Hera, his resource management isn't really the best right now because he has nowhere to mine wood or get wood. Just look at this. He has no wood anywhere. And he's getting wood over here. Meanwhile, on this side, we have rams, and FeAge just might spot that wood there. He could send in a couple hussars and gut that out. And wood is needed to make skirms, which is the only thing that's going to counter these cav archers. And if he spots that out, he might just be able to take this game. We'll see what happens here. And here come the hussars. This could turn it around here. We have a ram on this side as well. Like I said, these skirms are the only thing that can take out these cav archers at this point in time. Only 250 wood from Hera. Hera actually not making any skirms, just prioritizing hussar, it looks like. And there come a couple skirms right now. And these cav archers doing a great job. We have halbs coming in. We have a lot of production from both these players. But the wood line is being overrun right now. Overrun by these hussars, and that's not good. This is open as well. Hussar are going to be able to get a couple villager picks there. And FeAge has his map control again, and he's doing quite a good job at taking this game right now. He's picking. Eventually, it'll get to the point where Hera won't have anything to produce units with, and that's GG if that happens. So he needs to save these cav archers. At this point, FeAge also Well, his gold's been saturated over there, so they're all low on gold. So he needs to save the cav archers. All the focus is over here from Hera, while meanwhile we have units going down over here. We have a ram over here. We have 2 rams over here from FeAge. And skirms, though, doing a good job up on this hill from Hera, I will say. So let's take a look at the kills again. There's just been so much damage from both these players. Where are my kills? Where are my kills? I'm doing something wrong. There we go. 1,200 kills for Hera and 1,000 kills for FeAge. So, I mean, it's been pretty close, and the pushback is real on this side from Hera now. And Hera, he took a beating on this side, but he's doing okay. FeAge is at 200 pop, 170 pop for Hera right now. And it is a trash war. Officially a trash war. I don't think there's an ounce of gold on the map. There is. There's 105 gold left on this map. And it's a trash war, but it's being pushed back now on this side from FeAge. And FeAge creating a lot of units, really doing a good job at pushing this one. In fact, the units are having to be sent across on this side to deal with this situation. And it's not good. All this idle time, all these villagers going down for Hera is not a good situation for him. All the gold that FeAge has is being put into these cav archers. It is cost effective, like I said. It's the best route to go. And the only thing I can see that's left on this map, like I said, is 150 stone and 105 gold. But push on this side has stopped, and FeAge says, okay, I'm going to come in on this side. I don't see many skirms, so that's exactly what he's going to do, is push in on this side. And Hera has a couple rams in there to act as meat shields, doing a good job of that. But these hussars are actually taking out a couple skirmishers, which is really good. And these cav archers are going to stay alive for now. And right now, raiding coming in from Hera as well, trying to keep things even in that respect. But keep in mind that FeAge has an extra relic. This entire time he's had an extra relic, so he does have a little bit more gold production. And he seems to be spending it all on cav archers. He might be able to raid. He might be able to raid this to GG. We'll see. He's at 170 population. Hera's at 140 population, so he's almost a constant 30 ahead at this point. He's even sending halberdier at the base of this TC to just kill off hussars. And food production is hard to keep up. It's really hard to keep up in the late game when there's no wood, because you need to keep reproducing farms, especially when there's little, there's not wood where that water would be. It's hard. And this is really the only place FeAge is collecting wood right now. He's creating a lot of hussars. He's not creating any cav archers right now, but look how many he has here. He's going to patrol this in, and he's going to be able to do some real damage. And the hussars, just the same, are going to be able to do some real damage. And meanwhile, on the other side, this is really not a critical amount of units for Hera to be able to do anything with. And he's probably going to be cleaned up with a couple halberdier. So over on this side, there's a lot of farmland, there's a lot of villagers, probably about 20 villagers from Hera, and we already established that Hera is down a ton of villagers. Any skirms that come in from Hera are going to be pushed back with these hussars, and not good, because where does Hera send his villagers now? I mean, there's already farmland over here, there's already pressure over here. It's not looking good, and these on the hill, these cav archers are doing a great job right now. And FeAge catching up with the kill lead pretty quickly here. And he's on the hill. They have raiding coming in from Hera, but Hera might not be able to come back on this side. We still have units just being annihilated over here. But like I said, we still have 12 villagers over here from Hera. Gonna be spotted, gonna be killed, and just not looking good. FeAge at 180 population, 130 right now for Hera, and look at his resources. 300 food, 130 wood, and it's not looking good right now. He's only producing hussars. He doesn't have the resources. Doesn't have the resources to combat this. And with that, these hussars possibly going to be able to take out TC. Remember, there was no halberdier choice, or no halberdier switch for Hera, and this TC is at least being pressured here, and it's not looking good right now. But, of course, without the hussars at the base of that TC, FeAge is going to want to pull out there, and we're going to see, look, the villagers are actually both at 92 right now, but the military count, FeAge is 60 ahead. 60 ahead. Hera only has, he can't make 60 units. He just can't. He's so far behind. And on this side, we have units coming in from FeAge, and at this point, it's getting dangerously close to the end for Hera. We have so much trash coming in to clean up any hussars. These halberdiers will be able to kill villagers in mass amounts, and cav archers still being produced from FeAge. So we'll see what happens. And when a defensive watchtower comes up in the late Imperial Age, you know you're in trouble. And it's actually going to be denied, it looks like. And that, my friends, could be the end right now. Could be the end. Tower, though, okay, I was going to say, is going to go up. That was very close. Hussars coming in. This is a lot of hussars, a lot of cav archers. Hera has nothing to pull this back with. And there's the GG. And that was almost 2-hour AoE time. Like, that was a hugely long game. There was not any gold in the map. That was an incredibly long game. There was a lot of different choices there that were really interesting. But FeAge pushing in on both sides. We had 1,300 kills from Hera, who actually had the kill lead there. And that was just really, really interesting there. We're going to take a look real quick at the achievements. Let's see what's up with that. We have units killed, units lost for you guys, buildings raised. You notice there were like rarely any buildings raised because they used so much gold into the attack. And gold collected by FeAge was much higher. In fact, the 1,500 extra gold for the relics that he had. And I'm just surprised that Hera didn't make the most of his advantage when he had it in the early Imperial Age. But it was a great game, and I'm going to see if I can find any more from these guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the game. And thanks again for watching, guys. This is T90XVI, and later.